Greetings, y'all. Ohio gun lawyer here from Munitions Law Group, munitionsgroup.com. 614-326-1919 is our direct line here in Columbus. You can find us online at munitionsgroup.com. We do everything soup to nuts. Got a question today from a gentleman who asked about registering firearms. So I wanted to talk about this. I've talked about it in the past. Let me go into it here. It says, hello, I've been watching some of your videos and I find them very helpful. So firstly, I would like to thank you for that. Well, you are welcome, my good sir. With that being said, I have some questions of my own. So I live in Columbus, Ohio, and recently purchased a handgun from Cabela's. My question is, do I need to register this gun? And if so, is it already registered from when I bought it at Cabela's? How do I register it? Also, if I wanted to sell the gun, how does that work? I wouldn't want to sell a gun in my name to somebody and have it attached to me in any way, obviously. Thank you for your time. Look forward to hearing back from you. Great question. It's a loaded question. So first off, again, state law applies. I'm going to address the Ohio issue specifically. If there's any other state questions, drop them in the comments. We'll try to get you an answer as soon as we can. With regards to Ohio, there is no gun registry. It does not exist. With regards to federal law, there is no gun registry. It does not exist. What does exist is what we call the NICS system, the National Instant Criminal Check System, which was passed in the Brady Act back in the 90s. And so they have to run these background checks on you. Fill out what we call a 4473. It asks you about your criminal background. They make a phone call to the FBI. They do it on the internet now. And it comes back as approved, not approved, or I'm sorry, proceed, do not proceed, or delay. If it is a proceed, the FFL, meaning the dealer, if that's where you bought it from, and Cabela's is in fact an FFL licensed dealer, they have to keep that paperwork for 21 years. If it is a do not proceed or deny, they have to keep it for 5 years, after which they may or may not destroy it. And if they turn in the license prior to that time expiring, it goes to the record center of the ATF and it's kept in a big warehouse. So why is that relevant? Well, it's not a formal registry. So to answer your question directly, you do not have to do anything. You bought the gun, you're fine. There is no registry. We'll talk about selling the gun here in a second. But I want to talk about one thing called crime traces. Because there's no central database registry, what has to happen for a crime trace to occur, they find a dead body, there's a gun by it, let's say it's a Glock, model 12345. They're going to call Glock out of Smyrna, Georgia, which is where they manufacture their Glocks here in the United States. Glock's going to look through their A&D book, that's their acquisitions and dispositions books, or basically their records, and say, hey, that gun was sold to AccuSport. It's a wholesaler out of Bellefontaine, Ohio. They're going to call AccuSport, check your records. AccuSport's going to say, well, that was sold over to John's Gun Shop in Columbus, Ohio. They're going to go to John's Gun Shop and say, well, that was sold to Joe Schmo in Columbus, Ohio, and they're going to come looking for Joe Schmo to find out why his gun that he bought is next to a dead body. Maybe Joe Schmo will say, well, I sold that to Cheshire DeBrosse at a gun show. And then the investigation will continue from there. That is how a crime trace is conducted. Now, how can you sell guns? It is, in fact, legal to sell a personal collection. It is not legal to sell guns for a business purpose. There is a very fine line in that. President Obama came out with an executive order basically directing a publication of an ATF publication that basically stated that a single sale of a single firearm can be considered a business purpose. Whether or not that was published just to scare people, I don't know, but I can tell you people are charged with this crime all the time. If you're going to gun shows without a license and selling guns on a regular basis and it's just your personal collection, you are very likely being investigated. ATF does monitor these shows. They do monitor gun broker. They do monitor arms list. Trust me, take it for my word. I can't disclose what clients I've represented in those capacities, but I do know for a fact they do monitor these things. Do not be out there buying and selling guns. Do not be out there buying at Cabela's 5 Glocks because they're on sale, then turning them over on arms list the next day. It's going to be a bad day for you. You will be charged with a felony. You will likely do some time at the federal level, 1 to 2 years, give or take, and you'll lose your gun rights for the rest of your life. So you can sell guns, it's fine. You just cannot do it for business purposes. A lot of places like Facebook now won't let you do that anyways on their platforms. The safest thing to do is to have that sale done through a consignment with an FFL dealer or something of that nature. But it is not illegal to sell guns as long as it's your personal collection and it is not for business purposes. I know that is a loaded question. There's probably a lot more uncertainty now that I provided to the listener than there was certainty before, but welcome to my world. I live in the gray. With that said, though, y'all just drop comments below if you have anything as a follow-up, comment, concern, question, some sort of ridicule about me. you know, it's fine. I could take it. I got thick skin. I'm a combat veteran. With that said, as always, remember, be safe out there and carry on.